The Green Party is temporarily laying off about half of its staff, blaming the move on the party's finances. It comes on the heels of a disappointing election performance by the Greens, whose support dropped by about 2%. A week after the election, Annamie Paul announced she will resign as leader. We have an exclusive interview with two of the party's officials. Lorraine Rekmans is the president of the Green Party Federal Council. She is in Ottawa. And Corinna Serda is the co-president of the Green Party Fund. She's in Wyerton, Ontario. Lorraine, we'll get to the party's news today about the laying off of staff. But first, I just want to clear up any confusion. Is Annamie Paul still the leader of your party?
Yes, at present, Annamie Paul is still the leader of the party.
And so what is happening behind the scenes right now? We know that she announced her resignation previously, and I'm just curious as to what is happening behind the scenes to slow down that process.
We met with Annamie Paul, Federal Council met with Annamie Paul on September 27th, and Annamie indicated she was beginning a process of resignation, and we are currently in negotiations with Annamie. And we're hoping for a speedy conclusion to that process.
Can you discuss what the negotiations are about?
I'm not able to discuss that.
And again, before we get to the announcement about the layoffs that are happening at the party level, I want to play a clip for you, something that Ms. Paul said during her resignation announcement. And I'm going to get both of you to react and respond. Have a listen.
When I was elected and put in this role, I was breaking a glass ceiling. What I didn't realize at the time is that I was breaking a glass ceiling that was going to fall on my head and leave a lot of shards of glass that I was going to have to crawl over, throughout my time as a leader. And when I arrived at that debate stage, I had crawled over that glass. I was spitting up blood, but I was determined to be there.
Now, in addition to that comment, she had said in June that the attempt to oust her by some in the party was fueled by racism and sexism. I'm just wondering if I can get both of you to respond to this. What do you say about that claim, this experience that Annamie Paul has said she had through her time as Green Party leader?
I would say that there's no institution in this country that doesn't have an issue with respect to racism. And as an Indigenous woman, and as the first Indigenous woman president of the Green Party of Canada, I would say that this is unacceptable. It's not to be tolerated.
And Lorraine, just to follow up before I ask Corinna to weigh in on this, do you accept what Annamie Paul has said there, that yes, forces of racism and sexism were behind the measure to oust her?
I can't speak to that because we have to take an investigation. We have to undertake an investigation and look at what happened and where it happened and take action to address it.
Corinna, can I get you to respond as well to the comments we heard from Ms. Paul and her experience as leader of the Green Party?
Sure. I think to add to what Lorraine said, every organization in Canada has experiences of racism for people like myself and Lorraine that are racialized women. I think that we all appreciate everything that our leader has done, breaking through these barriers, such as being the first Black female Jewish leader to be elected in Canada. And I think that we are very grateful for all of that she's done.
And so I'm going to ask the same follow-up question. Do you accept that and do you see evidence that, yes, in fact, this is the case, that Ms. Paul was attempted to be ousted by factors in the party that were motivated by racism and sexism?
As Lorraine said, we'll have to undertake an investigation, and we're in the process of looking into these claims and allegations that have been made. So we're looking into it.
When you look back at what's unfolded over the past year, Lorraine, I'll start with you. Is there anything that the party could have done differently?
Well, I think this has been a challenging time for the Green Party. And as we're emerging and evolving, most institutions are having to take a hard look at the question of equity, inclusion, and diversity, and how that's addressed. So we certainly can do better, and we will.
And Corinna, I'm going to ask you the same question as well. Do you think, what could the party have done differently so that the past 12 months did not result in a poor outcome for the party in the election-wise, as well as all of this internal fighting? And we've seen claims from Ms. Paul about racism and sexism really dominating things happening behind the scenes.
I think there's a lot to be said about having more communication and more unity and being able to have those hard conversations with each other. I think every organization in Canada right now is facing a similar issue where we have to figure out how to have these hard conversations and come out with outcomes that work for everybody involved.
Corinna, I'm going to ask you as well, the news today that about half of your staff are being temporarily laid off. Can you tell us why that's happening?
Yes. So there's normal post-election layoffs that every party in Canada undertakes. Ours unfortunately had to be a little bit deeper than they usually would have been due to our current financial position that we're in, which has continued on from this summer.
Can you elaborate on the financial position?
There's nothing really too much to add other than that we're in a poor financial situation, and we're working right now. We're doing everything we can to improve it and move forward together.
Why is it what caused the poor financial situation?
I think a lot of it had to do with internal strife and some of these serious EDI issues that have been raised. So when our members are very passionate about getting these EDI processes in place, and then they'll return and we'll be able to move forward.
When you say EDI processes, for Canadians who might not know what that is, what is an EDI process?
Equity, diversity, and inclusion. So working that into every aspect of the party so that we ensure that we're being equitable, diverse, and including everybody as well.
So just so I understand, implementing those policies to ensure that you have an equitable and diverse team, and that's what you represent. That's what's costing money, or has cost the money? Or can you just explain what it is exactly, just so that I understand clearly here?
No, so sorry, that's not what.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, no, that's why I'm asking to clarify, because I didn't quite understand that.
Yeah, I appreciate the clarification. So
Katie,
go ahead.
Katie, Katie, I think it's a perception that Canadians have. I think if this is a narrative in the media, we have to respond, recognizing that every Canadian institution is going to go through a process where we have to examine what inclusivity looks like, and that we have to do the work to make sure we're addressing wherever the gaps are, wherever the barriers are. And again, I would like to thank Annemie Paul for everything she's done for the party, and especially for bringing forward the issue of our, how we address diversity as a party, and we can do better. We're committed to that. We have recommendations that have come out of a diversity report. Those recommendations will be addressed at council level. I'd like to say that there is no place for racism. There is no place for intolerance in the Green Party of Canada. That's not who we are. We're based on values that speak to inclusivity and respect for diversity. That's foundational to the Green Party.
Will you do a review of the last campaign, and will that review be made public?
Of course, we're going to do an analysis of our performance in the last election. It's typical that any party would do this after, but I can't say that would be publicly available. It's certainly going to be available to our members.
All right, Ms. Rekmans, Ms. Serda, I want to thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you, Katie.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Vashi Capellos, host of Power in Politics. See more of our show by subscribing to the CBC News channel or click the link for another video.